Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Francois Desmarais. He is the Vice President of Trade and Industry Affairs at the Canadian Steel Producers Association. Francois, before the break, I was sort of leading into my next question, which really was put into a focus just last week at the Calgary Stampede, where you had Premier Ford signing an MOU with Premier Danielle Smith, Ontario and Alberta, talking about big projects and then using Canadian steel for these big infrastructure projects. Is that it sounds like a positive development. I know these projects do have to get off the drawing board, but is that something that the Canadian steel industry can take heart in?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely welcoming to see that we're getting the support of premiers across the country and from other level of government. I think that it really warms up to us to see that level of support from across the country, and especially seeing procurement as a way to support our industry. For years, we've been saying that we are here, we're able to support and provide the goods needed to build our countries, and to see that the provinces and also the federal government took action and measures on this regard to put our steel up in center for project in the country.
And are there? Is your association? Are they part of those discussions? Are you advocating for these big projects?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have regular discussion with different level of government, whether in the provinces, but also at the federal level, whether it's a public procurement Canada, to discuss how we can make this happen and to discuss about the capabilities we have. We have to keep in mind that it's not all steel products that are made in Canada, but for at least for the product that we have in Canada, they should be used for building our economy, especially when we're using Canadian taxpayer dollar to build those infrastructure projects.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about the steel industry in Canada. What makes the industry? What sort of products are you able to produce? How is it successful and competitive? Those kinds of questions.
Yeah, no, good question. The steel industry in Canada, we're talking about 5 provinces producing steel. So it goes from Alberta all the way to Quebec. We usually represent all market segment, whether it's pipe and tube, flat, long, stainless steel, but also in the semi-finished category. So we cover a broad range of steel product that covers a lot of the usage we do in the country. Our goods and our steel can be used in various different ways.
And
it may be used in automotive and defense and infrastructure and whatnot. So we serve different sectors too.
Right. And are there different high, let's say, quality products that Canada produces that are in demand?
I wouldn't go specifically into a product that is more competitive than others. I would just say in a general sense that we have goods that usually match a lot of our consumption in the country. So we technically have the capacity to fill the demand that we have in the country. Of course, for some specialized steel that might come from different country, that there's not necessarily a business case to have production in Canada for.
But let's say pipelines and shipbuilding, some of these products, they're obviously they use a lot of steel, and they can use Canadian steel?
Yeah, absolutely. Our members are providing their goods for a different sector, like I mentioned, some in the defense sector for shipbuilding, others on the pipe and tube for pipelines, for the energy sector, but we also do steel for the automotive sector, so the broad range of sectors.
Okay, great. And a little bit about what's getting imported into Canada. Is there a lot of steel being imported?
Too much. The problem we have right now in Canada is that there's too much dump good coming into Canada. We have a really good trade remedy system that catch a lot of those bad actors and the dumping that takes place. It's just that there's too much dump steel coming in. Like I mentioned to my point earlier, the problem we're facing globally is that overcapacity, mainly coming from China and other actors that practice unfair steel practices. So we need to be careful about that, and we need to to protect a little bit the integrity of our market, because it's very difficult to compete against unfair traded steel, because it comes down at prices that are 30-50% below the cost of production in Canada. So we have to be really careful, and those are the discussion we're having right now with the Canadian government to address this overwhelming wave of dump steel coming into a country.
Okay. We're going to take another brief break with our guest, Francois Desmarais. He is the Vice President of Trade and Industry Affairs at the Canadian Steel Producers Association. We'll be back after these messages.